Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Sarah Louise, and I actually have loads of different topics of things that I want to chat about. Just it all came to me the other day after quite a long break, but I did also want to do an update on my last video about the whole masculine feminine energies thing, because obviously a lot of people engage on that, and I've had more thoughts since I made the video, and I've maybe like solidified my opinion a little bit more. So I wanted to kind of jump on, and I think part of the problem is that I have with both red pill and modern feminism, not the true concept of feminism, which is actually just equal rights. It's like women having the ability to vote, earn money, but where feminism has come today, it just really seems to have turned into a lot of man and woman hating, and a lot of clumping men and women all together and thinking all men are like this, all women are like that, not sort of seeing how different like every single woman is and every man is. Sorry, I'm not looking at the I keep looking at the screen and forgetting to look at the camera. I have taken some notes, but I try not to forget anything on this topic. But I do really see how much like the red pill community basically just really doesn't see women for who they are, really hates women. It thinks all women are sort of like you know, very material, and that they want men that have money or a certain look or heights and all these kinds of things, and that women, you know, always end the relationships and steal money from guys. And then all you feminists are there saying, or your modern day feminists, you know, that all men are chauvinistic pigs, and, you know, very, very negative outlook on men. And I feel like this is what it's become. Like if you watch any red pill video, it's just very negative on women. They're never there like supporting women, saying, wow, women are such amazing, you know, amazing people. And the same when you watch these sort of modern feminism videos, they're all sort of like men, you know, everything negative about men. It's just negative, negative, negative. And I can honestly say as a woman, I've definitely never, ever, ever used a man for money in my whole life. I don't think I've ever dated someone with particularly more money than me. And and I've had many periods where I've had none. I've never cared about height, other than I sort of like them about the same height as me. And I've got a massive group of friends who are similar to me, and I don't really have any friends, you know, certainly not many, maybe the odd one or two in my lifetime that have ever dated a man based on money or really cared about money. At the most, there's a couple I can think of that maybe wanted some security from a man, but that was the minority. The majority just wanted to feel a connection, because that was the kind of people that I hung around with, because that was how I feel, that we just wanted a spiritual connection with our partner. We got on, and, you know, we both made things work out. And that was kind of all that we really wanted in a partner. And we tended to meet, you know, and I know so many men that are similar, right? But a lot of these men putting these red pill videos out, they're not really meeting these kinds of women, because the kinds of things they say are off-putting to these kind of women. Every red pill video I've ever watched, I thought there's no way I would go near that man if like the world was about to end, because of the way they think and the way they want their woman to be. So, you know, they're not going to attract women that just genuinely want like an amazing best friend with sexual compatibility, spiritual connection. They're not going to meet those kinds of women because it's off-putting to them. The same with men that are like man-hating. You know, they're not going to find those great men, because no man is going to want to be around a woman that like hates men. It's just not going to happen. And there's just too much man-hating, woman-hating going on in these communities. And that's why I wanted to start my video. And a lot of, you know, they even say red pill. And red pill is like your base chakra. And I saw a tweet on this actually, and this was what, you know, moved me down this train of thought. And your base chakra is literally kind of survival mechanism. It's where everything begins. It's very much matrix connected, right? And don't get me wrong, I think that both communities make valid points, because they pick on specific women, make points about those specific women, and they are true, right? And if they're the kind of women that you're meeting all the time, then you will think of them as true. And the same with the sort of like opposite end of the spectrum, because I go with both. You know, this sort of woke feminism have a certain spiel about men, and, you know, they're constantly meeting these types of men because they're not changing themselves. You know, whatever we seek is seeking us. So if you seek a, you know, if you want this like amazing connection, then, you know, it's you that you have to work on first. And a lot of these people are projecting and blaming women, blaming men, you know, oh, the reason that I can't find is because all women are like this. The reason I can't find is all men are like this. I used to do this myself. I used to say all men were like cheaters and they were all obsessed with, you know, looks, and they didn't really see you for who you were, and I had quite negative opinions about men. So they were the kind of men I met over and over and over again. And when I changed myself and I stopped affirming those awful statements, I actually started meeting better men, not just as in like my partner, but just friends or men I came into contact with were just better overall men, really, people, or in my opinion anyway, it's all opinion based, right? But your base chakra is like your matrix chakra. So you're kind of saying, if you're red pill, like, I'm connected to the matrix, really, because, you know, it's the center of all the ego programs in a sense, like survive and die, lust and hate, win and lose. And you'll notice a lot of the relationships they push are connected to those three ego programs: survive and die, lust and hate, win and lose. It's like they want to feel a winner because they have a certain type of looking woman. It's, I don't know, they rank women with numbers and stuff. And then you've got the lust and hate because it's all about sort of the sexual attraction, and they have to be attractive. And then you've got the survive and die because, you know, they want women that are reliant on them for money. And, you know, they say all kinds of things like, I want, you know, someone I can breed with, and women at a certain age are sort of useless. And honestly, it's just, it's so material and just about the outside package that these people just either have never experienced the soul connection or they don't want to, or whatever, which is fine. You know, everyone should be entitled to have the relationship that they want to have. But then the problem is these people then complain about the kinds of people they're meeting. And if you're just going purely on sort of someone's outer package as a man, then you're probably going to meet a woman that's also going purely on the outer package and is going to want money, height, all these kind of superficial things. She's not going to want that soul connection. And, you know, back to my energies, because that's another note that I wrote down. And of course, men do not want like hyper, of course, it's not a good thing to be a woman and be hyper masculine and sort of be 90% masculine. The same as it's not good to be a man and be sort of like 90% feminine. But I think people have a big misunderstanding of these energies, or at least in my opinion, because they think of men that are feminine as weak. And I don't see feminine energies as weak. I think they take people from being one-dimensional to being multi-dimensional. And the same with women embracing masculine traits. I mean, as a man, like, do you no, can't think of any spiritual woman or any woman on the spiritual path or interested in wanting a really rounded individual as a partner, wanting a man that wasn't in touch with his intuition or thought that was rubbish, or a man that didn't have any ability for compassion, or a man that didn't have creativity. You know, you want all these traits in a man. And I think people are mistaken sort of lower vibration, because we have lower vibrational feminine traits, higher vibrational feminine traits, lower vibrational masculine traits, and higher vibrational masculine traits. So, you know, you can be a woman and take on lower vibrational masculine traits like being over controlling, which is not a great trait in a man or a woman. But something like logical thinking is great if you're a man or a woman, because as a woman, if you're 100% ruled by emotion, you kind of need a bit of logical thinking. You need to pick up some of those masculine skills. And sure, in a partnership, maybe you can share it out a bit. Say you're an artist and your husband's an art seller. Of course, that's a fantastic duo where one can jump in and help out. But until then, you know, you're going to have to kind of do a lot more for yourself. And it's, in my opinion, it's fantastic to take on these higher masculine traits and these higher feminine traits as a man. And it takes you from being a very one-dimensional character into being a multi-dimensional character. You know, suddenly you're a man that not only is logical, strong and action-orientated, but you have an ability to understand compassion, and you can tap into your intuition and mix that with your logic, you know. And the same for a woman. You know, if you're only running around on emotions, you're going to be crazy. And, you know, definitely have experienced being in that space. But once you start to bring in a bit of logic to mix in with that sort of emotional self and that nurturing self and that compassionate self, then that's fantastic, because then you're not like a doormat and you're not just over giving to everybody. You're able to balance it with logical thinking, with boundaries. And, you know, I've probably gone on about the traits enough, but, you know, I absolutely am a massive proponent for men being able to tap into feminine energies, for women being able to tap into masculine energies, but that doesn't mean you're a hyper masculine woman. Sorry, my battery died then. But, you know, we've all met hyper masculine women that are coming from the lower the lower masculine traits, and they so desperately want to be sort of a man or be respected that they kind of overdo it. And they become controlling, and that's a lower masculine trait. Like a man controlling and a woman being controlling, neither is attractive. And I think this is where people are getting it a little bit mixed up, because they don't like that side of a woman, but I don't think that's a particularly high trait in a man either. And the same with being, a lot of people say that feminine men you see are weak. I don't see a man that has integrated some higher vibrational feminine energies, compassion, intuitiveness. I just see them as taking him out of one dimension and making him a whole, more sovereign being. Like, not only is he able to lead and move forwards with action and logic, but also understand compassion and be able to listen to his intuition and feelings and heart, and be able to bring creativity into his designs and the way he does things. Like, fantastic. And the same for women, you know, if we're able to mix that logic with our emotional selves, then we are just much more grounded, and it isn't weak, you know, to take on these traits. And I think men just call any feminine trait now weak if a man has it, but they're just looking at the lower feminine traits that are not even attractive in a woman, because following around somebody begging for attention, begging a man or a woman's fee, and chasing somebody that doesn't want you and isn't available, and just keep hoping that if you chase they're gonna come, that is like unattractive in a man or a woman, irrespective of your gender. It's just being weak, and something that we need to evolve and grow. There's nothing wrong with that. We've all probably been there. We've all chased people that are unavailable, that, you know, are not showing mutual interest. I'm sure nearly everybody has done it, but we grow, we evolve, we move out of it. It isn't a feminine thing or an attractive thing in a woman. And I think this is, you know, where a lot of this is getting really confused, that people say any man with feminine traits is sort of this weak, highly feminized, boundaryless kind of man. But this is a lower dimensional female energy that isn't attractive in women either. No man is going to really want women that are just desperate and needy and chasing, and women not really going to want a man that does that either. But this has nothing to do with embracing high divine feminine traits and high divine masculine traits. Being needy and desperate is just a soul lesson that we have to outgrow, and we have to learn to love ourselves, and we have to learn our own worth, and that, you know, the people that are meant for us are going to want us, and they're going to meet us in the middle. Anyway, that's probably, and I went to looking at the screen again. I'm sorry, I keep trying to look at the camera and losing myself in the screen. I will do something to fix that. But I hope everyone is good, and yeah, I'll speak soon. Bye.